Hi everybody and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. Now if you watch the channel a lot, you will have noticed we review a lot of expensive trucks, and we've heard a lot from you guys that you want to see some more accessible trucks on the channel, trucks you can actually afford. Well, that's exactly what I've got right here. That is a brand new 2021 Chevy Silverado Custom, and we're going to review it. So in this video, we're going to tow our big snowmobile trailer, we're going to do a 0 to 60 run, and then we're going to talk about probably the most important part of this truck, how much it costs. Under the hood of our Silverado Custom today is the 5.3 liter V8 making 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. Now I want to talk engine options in this truck because if you get a Silverado Custom or a Silverado work truck, the base engine is actually that turbo 2.7 liter 4-cylinder. Then you're going to pay less than $1,000 to bump up to the V6, and then for this engine right here in Canada, you're talking about $1,800. But there's also a difference. When you get the V8 here in these base trims, you only get a 6-speed automatic. Go to an LT and above, and you're going to get an 8-speed auto.
There is also a 10-speed automatic transmission you can get with this engine. Now that's only paired with the LT Trail Boss and the High Country Silverado with 4-wheel drive. Now there's another key difference. Opting for the 5.3 paired with the 8 or 10 speed in LT trim trucks or above will get you dynamic fuel management as compared to the active fuel management system in the base 6-speed trucks. So what the heck is the difference? Well, AFM, that's the system in our truck, it simply drops from 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders when power isn't required, like when you're cruising on the highway. On the flip side, DFM, the system on the more expensive trucks, features 17 different cylinder combinations, allowing the engine to deliver a more nuanced fuel economy response.
Now, like I mentioned, this is the Custom, and basically the Custom makes the work truck look good. If you get a Custom, you're gonna get this body color bumper, that cool, unique black grille in there. Basically, the Custom, like I said, is to take that work truck but make it look a little nicer. Now, our truck today does have the Dark Essentials package that brings along your black Silverado badging and black bow tie badging. Tires, we do have a set of dedicated winters on here today. Manufacturers here in Canada put them on for us to test, and we appreciate it because it's snowy out here. We'll see how those do in a little while. Now let's keep rolling back, and there's not a lot to talk about again because it's a basic truck. No steps on this truck. None of that stuff comes standard here. You can order it, but we do not have it. Now we get to the back end and I can show you some of the cool stuff that comes standard on General Motors pickups. First of all, the bumper step. All of their trucks have this. I love that bumper step. It's always there, ready to go. Now we get to the tailgate. It is damped, but it's also just at the touch of a button it drops, and you can drop it from up there in the cab. It's another interesting option, which is here on our truck today. And then finally, the thing I want to mention is that I always rave about General Motors pickup trucks beds. I think they have the best beds in the industry. This bed is wider than anyone else's bed. This bed has more tie downs at every single corner. And the best part is it's still here on the most basic truck. Before we hit the road though, let me talk capacities. And this is actually another reason why lower trim trucks are actually a little better in the utility area, because you have just less stuff on this truck. No sunroof, no steps, the 6-speed instead of the 8-speed, and all of that equals less weight, which means more payload. So this Silverado is good for 1,885 pounds of payload, pretty dang good for a half-ton. And the tow rating, which is down here on GM's handy dandy door sticker, is 9,500 pounds. Really some serious numbers for this truck.
So in this custom trim level truck, what GM has done is they've looked at all the systems that they put into this, and of course in the higher trim packages you've got a lot of different pages and information, but here they've kind of condensed it down to the absolute musts. And one of the cool things right here on the page is this trailer light setup. So this is the light test system. You just put it in park, the truck is running, you hit start, and it'll run through the running lights, brake lights, left turn, right turn, reverse lights as you walk to the back of the trailer, so you can do it all. It's nice to see that they're giving you those things that are important in this kind of a truck, because this truck will be towing.
Hey you, do you want to win one of these Scepter military style fuel tanks? Well, go below right now, hit the join button and become a member of the Truck King YouTube channel, and we're going to give one away for the first 3 months of this year.
And when you become a member, you get direct access to us. We'll be here to answer your questions regardless of what they are.
You got questions about your truck or car? Reach out to me. I'm a master mechanic. I'll help you out, but only if you hit that join button.
All right, everybody, time to go for a drive here in the Silverado Custom.
Before we hit the road, why am I stuck in here?
Well, we get so many trucks these days that never have bench seats, and we have a bench finally, so we got to test it, right?
That doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable.
Yeah, it might be a little tight up here, I guess.
No, it's small in here now.
I don't know. I think you guys are big in here.
We might be a little big in here.
But you guys are crying. When I was a kid, my dad jammed 3 of my brothers and me in the front seat of a truck.
Fair, but when you were a kid, trucks didn't have back seats.
Yeah,
now they all do.
There's
That's
a
a
back
good.
seat.
That's a good point.
There's a back seat. Get out.
That's where I'm going now.
Okay, go.
Let me out.
You're locked in.
Go. It's child locked over there.
Was it really?
Oh, geez. No, just for Dad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's better.
That's much better.
I can show you how this bench seat works. First of all, you do get a nice storage cubby in the back, plus all these little cutouts and cup holders. Now there's this nice kind of plastic handle up here. She just folds up like that, and you're ready to go. Fold it down, you grab this little strap, and it's just that easy.
So now that I actually have some room to think here, let's talk about this Silverado Custom. So this truck, it's definitely an interesting story because it's one of the most basic Silverados you're gonna find. And I think I wanna start by talking about how the Custom is one step above work truck, that is true, but the truth of the truck market is that not a lot of people buy those base pickup trucks, and because people don't buy them, the manufacturers don't build a lot of them. So if your heart is set on that base model work truck, you're gonna have a tough time finding it. They don't just sit around dealer lots. Dealers don't really order them. They're not thrilled to build one for you. So I guess my point here is just to say, the truck you're looking at here, even though it's a step above base, it's probably one of the most affordable kind of real world Silverados that you're gonna find. And actually Dad's got interesting numbers on the sales split as the trims go, so you can tell them, Dad.
Well, what's interesting is that we get so many reader comments, emails asking us to do more base vehicles. The common quote is, why don't you review a truck that real working guys can afford? And granted, the stuff that we normally get from the manufacturers are always the high-end trims. Well, why? Because they want to show them off. Okay, so quite frankly, before Christmas, we went to General Motors and we said, listen, this is what we're getting as feedback on the channel. Can you help us out? So they built this truck for us. It currently has about 800 kilometers on it. We're the first people to have driven it. Because normally this would never show up on a press feed, a Custom. Now, we're going to go through all that with you. However, what's interesting is that when you look at the numbers, meaning who buys what, the most popular trim package the Silverado puts out is LTZ. And that's just one step below the top trim High Country. So, and when you get down to this, to the Custom, it's barely 10% in terms of the take rate. So even though so many guys are saying, show us the really base trucks, not a lot of people buy this thing. Yeah. Frankly, I think we've all just gotten used to better.
But even for being the bottom end of their trim packages, they've still left you room with the Custom to add on. You can add packages and add features. I mean, even on this truck, as being close to base as GM could build us, we had the upgraded rear end.
Yeah, we got a G80 locker back there. That's an option. We have the integrated trailer brake controller is an option. But then I think what's important is they let you get all the styling options, right? You get those black badges, and that's the stuff people care about. They might want a basic truck, but they still want it to look good. So you're right, Matt. Even though it's basic, Chevy gives you lots of chance to customize it. So just how basic is this truck? We keep talking about it like there's nothing in here, but actually you still get a pretty good amount of features. So we do have cruise control. We do have that automatic dropping tailgate back there. You hit a button up here and it drops. We get a 7-inch touchscreen. That's only 1 inch smaller than the larger screen available on the Silverado. Not bad at all. And then actually up here in my info cluster, I get a small screen which doesn't have, you know, a ton of cool colors or graphics, but what it does have is all of the information I need, and it's all accessible on that little scroll wheel. It's just so dead simple. And again, the trucks these days are incredible. All the features are amazing, but there is something really satisfying about just a simple setup like this. You know exactly how it works the second you get in here. It delivers the info you need. That's basically how I'm feeling about this truck so far. It has everything I need.
When you get in here, that's the first thing that slaps you in the face is just how dead simple it is. And honestly, the only thing that I have missed while driving this is the heated steering wheel.
Fair.
And that's an old guy thing.
That's an old guy complaint.
Oh, heated everything would be nice.
The rest of it, I mean, the fact is you still have Wi-Fi in here. Okay, you don't have a nav, but you still have GM's OnStar, turn-by-turn navigation. You can still get your satellite radio.
And Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. For most people, you have one of those, you don't need nav. Exactly. So once you got that, you're set.
Hands-free phone connection. And so those things that we've kind of come to accept as being really standard, you're not going to give them up. You're not going to give them up. What you're not getting is just a lot of extra, you know, almost noise. And honestly, we drive so many trucks. At the end of a given week, I'll look at the truck as I'm taking it back and I'll think, you know, I never used that, I never used that, I never used that, I never used that. Why? Because I didn't miss it.
Sure.
And we do talk about a lot of the top trims that the manufacturers give us to test a lot, and we'll get in here and be like, oh, this leather seat, and oh, these chrome accents or these wood accents. You don't get that in this package, but I think what they have done here is a lot of different stylized lines. Yes, it's a lot of plastic, but it doesn't look bad. I don't get in here and go, ugh, that's cheap looking, that's ugly looking. It's a nice dash in an affordable truck, and that there's something wholesome. Makes me feel good about that.
And you hit the keyword, they're affordable. So we have to talk price now because that's always, it's going to come back to that, right? So this truck, as you see it right here in Canada, $53,000 MSRP. And then I built one in the US on the build and price configurator. You're talking about $46,000 US. Now, we won't go into a whole spiel here, but I think it goes without saying you'll probably pay less than MSRP for one of these trucks. We can't give you specific numbers because we're not dealers, but yeah, considering most of the trucks we test are $70,000 plus, something like this at 50, it feels affordable.
So here with this custom package, one of the things you can't get is the 6.2 V8 or the diesel engine. But you're sitting over there in the driver's seat, Steve. How does this one feel?
So this truck with the 5.3, and again, this is just the 6-speed automatic, not the big 8-speed. It feels good. It's got good power, and here's the funny thing. I don't find myself actually missing that 8-speed automatic. This doesn't have the fancy cylinder deactivation DFM system either. That system works in the background, so again, I don't find myself actually missing it while driving, but you will pay for it at the fuel pump. In a truck like this, without those extra gears, yeah, you're gonna suck up some more fuel. We've been averaging 14, 15 liters per 100 kilometers. Not exactly great numbers. But I should also mention now, we have had a chance to tow with this truck, and we're about to do a 0 to 60 run, but Dad towed our big 4-place snowmobile trailer. So Dad, how did that feel?
Well, I can tell you that that thing weighs about 5,000 pounds, but it's so tall and the sides are so slabbed that it's like pushing plywood through peanut butter. So coming up here this morning, particularly when it was snowing, you could really feel it pulling on the truck. Now the good news is that it handled not only the weight, but there's a lot of hills between my house and Steve's, No complaints. The 5.3 is the motor that I would choose if I was towing regularly.
What are you doing over here, Pops?
Well, it would seem that my boys are playing with brand new snowmobiles and I'm shoveling out the trailer.
Well, someone's got to work around here.
Yeah, not sure how this worked out, but apparently it's me.
We only like the fun work, not the boring work.
Shut up, go away.
Now we are all set up for our 7,000 pound 0 to 60 run. But before we do that, I want to show you this right here. That's what was in our big snowmobile trailer. This is from Yamaha Canada. That's beautiful, Matt, demonstrating there. And we're gonna review this Venom and that Viper over there. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for some brand new snowmobile reviews. But right now, 0 to 60, let's do it. Okay, 0 to 60 run.
0 to 60 run, getting all lined up here.
Dad tow haul mode.
Tow haul mode is on.
Okay.
Tow haul, finding satellites, green, ready for the race. Holy, slipping like...
That was a ton of rubber it laid
Oh my
down.
God, 30,
Wow.
40, and there's 60. And 91, 100. Holy cow. All right. So after that first run, we laid a ton of rubber on the highway, so we're gonna give the Silverado one more go in 4-wheel automatic, right?
Yeah, 4 auto, let's see what happens.
Let's see what it does. Hit it. Nope, no rubber that time.
It hooked right up.
That was
off the
better.
line.
That's gonna make a big
A
difference.
huge difference in time.
Nice, it's feeling
60,
quick.
70.
It's feeling good.
Getting close, getting close. 100. Okay. Current, we got down to 16.2.
All right,
That's a better number.
And
so.
very interesting because this is the 6-speed automatic and also the first time we've had a 5.3 V8 from GM on our leaderboard. And everybody, we have a brand new towing acceleration leaderboard to show off to you. So here it is, and you can compare the numbers for yourself. Well, here it is, our brand new leaderboard. I hope you like it, and I want to explain some things. First of all, it's a new year, 2021, which means all the old trucks are erased off the board and we move forward. We're gonna do this year by year. Right now, that means we only have one truck on the board, but hopefully by the end of the year, it will be full. We also recognize that it's been a bit confusing having different trailer weights and different categories of truck all on one board, so moving forward, that is gone. We will always organize things by segment and then by trailer weight to make sure we are comparing apples to apples. Oh, and one more thing, you saw in this video we went from 2-wheel drive to 4 auto in the Silverado. First of all, I think it's interesting that we demonstrated a 3-second difference between the two, but also we are going to do our best to get the quickest times out of these trucks, whether that means 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. It also depends on the weather. This was a cold, snowy day, although the road was pretty dry. Anyways, we're going to do our best to get the quickest times out of all of these trucks, and I think those are the numbers that you guys are going to want to see. So let us know in the comments what you think of the new leaderboard, and keep on enjoying this review.
But we should mention there's only a single speed transfer case on this truck. So you're either in 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high.
That's it. There's no gear reduction. Nothing else.
There's no gear reduction. However, as from a trailering point of view, that's really what you want. We're not buying this thing to go off-road. And as far as what I was doing today, and it was really sloppy this morning, it also has an auto setting, and that came in really handy because I just flipped it into auto, and it got me through the intersections and at the lights where it was really starting to ice up.
That's one of those settings, actually, automatic, where you might not expect that in the lower trims, and it's another thing I appreciate they put in here. For the majority of people, you're gonna put that 4-wheel drive in auto and never touch it again, and that's a good thing. Just means that you don't have to remember something before you leave your driveway. One other thing I'd like to mention, there was a time when if you bought the lowest trim level vehicle of any kind really, you ended up getting a whole bunch of blank
buttons in your vehicle. Buttons that on the higher trims do something, but on the lower trims, they just leave it blank, basically reminding you constantly that you bought the cheaper option. But actually, I love that they don't really do that anymore. Here on this Custom, this actual black plastic bezel is unique to this lower trim, so there's no blank buttons here. There's just the things you actually have and need, and I like that. It looks nicer, it looks visually cleaner. I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Okay, well, now we're doing the Wayback Machine. Two old guy things I like. Column shifter.
Yeah.
Saves space in the center console, plus I just like the column shifter.
Sure.
And a key that actually turns the truck on.
I mean, for me, it's a weirdly huge selling feature, and I say that because I've worked for a variety of different manufacturers, and the systems are great. They work simply, they work well, but when you lose that key or break that key, I've seen them anywhere from $300 to $600 to replace versus a 50+ programming blade key. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, I might buy this truck.
and you know, the thing you should mention now, I guess kind of the frustrating thing, if you love a key, if you want a high country with the key, you can't get it. They stop offering that. Once you get to a certain trim, it's push button or nothing.
Well, folks, you asked us for a more basic truck, and that's why we got this Silverado Custom today. Now, as you guys know, pickup trucks, they all have a job. Now, if you get that $70,000 Silverado, it's gonna do the job. But if you get this $50,000 Silverado, it's gonna do the same job, and in some ways, based on the high payload rating, it's gonna do that job even better. So really what Chevy is saying is that there is a basic, honest-to-goodness work truck if you want it, but then if you do want to doll it up with all the options, you can do that too. And hey, it's always nice to have the power of choice. So everybody, that is it for this video. Why don't you go below now, let us know what you think of this Silverado Custom and what you would like to see us test in the future. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit that subscribe button, hit the join button to become a member of the channel, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we are testing next. Okay, now let's get in the truck and go for a drive. What? Do you hear something? Dad, what is that? Something's in the bush over there. It's Matt. This wasn't supposed to be in the video!
I think we better go now.
Okay, let's go.